Hi, Tim Brown here. Welcome to this
Drum Lick of the Week, Clive Burr special.
As you can probably guess by the title, we're going to do a special today on the late, great Clive Burr. Clive Burr passed away this week, and I just thought it would be nice to pay respects to one of the most influential drummers in heavy metal and rock drumming for definite, and definitely one of my inspirations and influences. Clive was the drummer who played on the first 3 Iron Maiden albums and toured with the band, I believe, until 1983 when Nicko McBrain took over. Clive had a completely different style to Nicko McBrain. Clive was very much hi-hat orientated and very much 16th note based with a lot of his drum fills. There's nothing amazingly complicated about what Clive did. It's just the right thing, and the energy and the sound that Clive had that I think that sets him apart from lots of drummers around that area. Right, so I was really influenced by Clive when I was a kid, but it wasn't until a few years back when I recorded the Persian Risk album, Once a King, that I really listened to Clive a lot more. Clive and the drumming of Clive were the big influence behind that album. We used the Killers album and Number of the Beast album as reference material for not only the sound of the drums, but also for the type of drum fills. We wanted these motoring type of drum fills to go through. So I listened to all that stuff and fell in love with Clive's playing again after many years. So he's going to be sadly missed. Right, so I want to show you 5 or 6 different little bits of Clive's playing that I really like, and hopefully you'll have a listen to Number of the Beast and Killers and the first Maiden album, and fall back in love with Clive's playing again. Now, Clive played a much bigger drum kit than I usually do. Clive had 4 toms across the front, one placed quite high up here, 2 floor toms. So I've added an extra snare drum on the hi-hat side of my kit and an extra tom-tom to hopefully be able to play some of these licks that Clive played. So first of all, we're going to look at a track called Genghis Khan. Now, Genghis Khan was off the Killers album, and it was an instrumental track. It was a figure that, the intro was a figure that the guitars, the bass and the drums played, and I think Clive just plays it really nicely, and it's a really nice drum part. So this is the part, nice and slowly. Nothing too complicated, as I said, but when you speed it up to 183 beats per minute, it sounds like this. A great way to start the tune up, really sets that song up really, really nicely. I really like the drum roll between the toms and the bass drum as well on that one. I think it sounds really cool. The next thing I wanted to show you was some of Clive's fantastic hand speed. On a track called Murders in the Rue Morgue, at 57 seconds into the tune, if you're listening looking on Spotify or on CDs, he plays this figure on the snare drum. Again, I'll play it slowly and then I'll speed it up. Nothing too complicated there, you think. But when it's played at 215 beats per minute, it sounds like this. Quite rapid. Let me play that one more time for you. Now that's very similar to a part that Cozy Powell played on a track called Lost in Hollywood. But I'm not sure which one came first. I don't care. Clive rules. Sounds great. The next thing I wanted to show you was the intro. These are a few tunes off the Number of the Beast album. This is the intro from the song Invaders, which sets up the album, the first song on the album of Number of the Beast. And it just starts with a nice figure that just, again, unison figure. I just like the sound of it. It starts like this. Nothing too difficult, but the speed and the power that he played it with just made it kind of stand out and sets the album up for what is a classic album now, a great album. On the Number of the Beast album, Clive really had lots of points where he shined. There's a few intros to songs which have drum intros, one of them being the song that everybody remembers from that album that I think is going to be Clive's thing that he leaves with us, which is the intro to Run to the Hills. A great intro. One of those ones like Smoke on the Water for guitar that as soon as you play that, everybody knows what song it is. The other one that had a great intro was a song called Gangland, which again had a nice little intro from Clive on it. Let me play that for you. Just great hand-foot triplets played in those patterns, which sounds really cool. And the last one is possibly my favourite song and favourite intro off the Number of the Beast album, which is the intro to the song for called The Prisoner. It just shows Clive just playing a really nice groove. I believe that Bruce Dickinson actually came up with the drum part for this, but Clive just kills on it. He nails it. And so I just want to show you this one. It's my favourite. Just grooves away nicely, and that little group of 4 notes on the bass drum, it's quite tricky to play, but just sounds really good in context. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy Clive Burr's drumming and miss him as much as I will. So thank you so much for watching this video. Rest in peace, Clive, and I'll see you soon.